Yo, YouTube, what's up with your boy? Sports and Fitness Rants. I'm back, guys. Click that like button. Subscribe to my channel. What's up, y'all? Welcome back, guys. Welcome back, man. Got another great video for you guys today, as usual, man. You guys know the deal on this channel. It's all about setting the record straight, stopping the lies, stopping the narratives, stopping them from rewriting history, guys. And in this video, we're going to talk about how Steph Curry has absolutely, definitely done more, obviously done more with less than LeBron James has in his career. I mean, I thought that was obvious, but you got these LeBron James fans out here trying to, tell us that LeBron James did more than Steph Curry did with less, did more with less. Really? We're really trying to make that argument? That's insane. And we're going to talk about in this video, guys. And I want to thank you guys, everyone across the world, everyone across the states has been supporting my channel, guys. Once again, I am truly, truly humbled, man, by all the support, guys. It really means a lot. Shout out to everybody in the membership, everyone who comes through the lives all the time, man. Everyone across the world. Shout out to everybody in the Philippines and Canada. You guys continue to be the top places watching my content outside the United States. So shout out to you guys. Shout out to England, the United Kingdom. Shout out to everybody out there. I think you guys have been third. But much respect, everyone. You guys know how I feel, man, about you guys supporting my channel. It means a lot, guys. Like I said, it's truly, truly humbling, man, for real, man. And you guys know what to do. Turn the volume all the way up. Hit that play button. Remember, these videos are for educational purposes. And let's roll. So, yes, guys, like I said, man, I wanted to talk about how, to me, Steph Curry has obviously done more with less than LeBron James. I feel like when you think about it, I feel like it's obvious. I feel like it's just something that, to me, should be obvious to everyone on the outside looking in, right? If you're a true basketball fan, like I said, you're not just a fan of LeBron James, or you're not just a fan of Steph Curry. We're being objective here. We're being honest. Steph Curry just did more with less. He just did, man. Now, there's different ways that we can think about this. One of the first things that came to my mind, or that I thought about, was let's look at the stature of LeBron James versus the stature of Steph Curry. Let's think about when Steph Curry first came into the NBA. If you guys remember, Steph Curry was dealing with the ankle issues, right? He was having some ankle issues, right? So I believe there was like maybe his second or third season. I don't know if he had to have ankle surgery or something. I don't know if you guys remember, he was wearing like those special like ankle braces those first couple of years. I think he was in the league. And I believe his third season, I can't remember his third season, he only played like 20-some games because of the ankle problems that he was having. And people were thinking that Steph Curry was never going to be able to really play at a high level, right? He was never going to be able to develop or become that kind of player. When you look at his stature, he's frail. Steph Curry, now we're talking about fragility or frail, in comparison to basketball players. If you saw Steph Curry in the outside world on the streets, he's like 6'3", 190 pounds. He's a pretty big person for an average person, right? The average person's like, what, 5'8", maybe 5'9", 170 pounds, 180 pounds maybe. So Steph Curry's obviously bigger than the average human being. So when people say, oh, Steph Curry's frail or he's skinny or he's small, we're not saying in comparison for the average person in the world. We're talking about for an NBA player. He's on the smaller side, the smaller end of the spectrum, right? And talk about his weight. He doesn't have a lot of musculature to him. He's not a big, bulking guy at that size, right? So when we talk about the size of Steph Curry, right, versus LeBron James, right there, LeBron James has a huge advantage over Steph Curry, just off of the physical nature of their bodies. LeBron James, 6'9", 250, 260 pounds, whatever the hell he is, man. Who knows what the hell this guy is? But he's tall as hell compared to Steph Curry. And like I said, you see the size of LeBron James versus Steph Curry. That's why we laugh when you see Steph Curry guarding LeBron James in the NBA Finals. But they love to talk about, oh, Michael Jordan was guarded by guys that were shorter than him. Really? And LeBron James wasn't? There was a reason why they put shorter guys on Michael Jordan from time to time. They had to do those things. You had to mix up the types of defenders against Michael Jordan. That's not going off of LeBron James. The reason why you see someone like J.J. Barea guarding LeBron James in the finals, the reason why you see someone like Steph Curry guarding LeBron James in the finals is because everyone switches screens now. Everyone looks for a screen to get a smaller, weaker defender on. That's LeBron James' MO, guys. Let me get a screen to get a weaker defender on me so that I can do something. Because he doesn't have the overall game to score against these guys. He just doesn't have it. When he goes into Kawhi Leonard, the Bruce Bowens, he struggles against these guys. He needs a screen set, right? He needs a help. Andre Iguodala, these guys were all over him and force him to be inconsistent. You lose. This is LeBron James. That wasn't a problem for Michael Jordan. It didn't matter who you threw at him. His game, right, was good enough to dictate what he was going to do. You couldn't dictate what he was going to do. His game was good enough to counter those things. LeBron James don't have that ability. So when you look at that just off the jump, it looks like to me Steph Curry obviously did more with less physically. He wasn't gifted athletically on the physical stature of LeBron James versus Steph Curry. So right there, you obviously see Steph Curry did more with less than LeBron James. 2 scoring titles in the same era that LeBron James is playing in. LeBron James got 1. Even though he dominates the basketball, has taken the most shots in NBA's history, he has 1 scoring title. Russell Westbrook has 2. Steph Curry has 2. James Harden has what, 3 or 4? Kevin Durant has 4. All these guys got scoring titles while LeBron James ain't doing a damn thing out there. 1 scoring title for LeBron James. Meanwhile, like I just said, someone like Russell Westbrook, who we don't consider a scorer like that, he don't have an overall offensive game, Russell Westbrook. He can score the ball. He's not a scorer, though, guys. Let's be real. He's a guy that gets his points off of hustle, off of effort. And every once in a while, he'll make some shots. He ain't no damn shooter like that, no scorer like that. In this era, he got 2 scoring titles, though. LeBron James, 1. Right? But remember, LeBron James, he could lead the league in scoring every year if he wanted to. If he wanted to. Insane. Michael Jordan pretty much led the league every year. But LeBron James says he could. You see the difference there, guys? Michael Jordan did it. LeBron James says he could do it. Kevin Durant never did it. Allen Iverson never did. George Gervin never did it. Elgin Baylor never did it. Will Chamberlain didn't even do it every year he played. Once again, Michael Jordan's the only guy that could score that level and win. Right? Will Chamberlain stopped doing that. He changed his game to win. Once again, no one else is doing it. Oscar Robertson couldn't do it. Couldn't do it. But LeBron James could if he wanted to. Insane, laughable, exposed. So we think about Steph Curry, obviously did more just off his stature. Right? Does Steph Curry have any suspicions swirling around him? I don't ever hear people talking about, hey, Steph Curry's on that new Balco or that new juice. I never hear anyone saying that about Steph Curry. No, we actually say Steph Curry's small and frail, right? They actually make fun of Steph Curry's size. They say that Steph Curry would not be able to play. We've said this in other eras. Right now, I tell you guys, any of these guys could play in any of these eras. The great players could play. We get that. But are you going to be as great in that era as you were in your era? That's the real question. And I do not believe Steph Curry is going to be a 2-time MVP in the 90s. Not saying that he would not be a great player. I do not believe he's winning 2 MVPs in the 90s because of the physical nature of the game. It just wouldn't allow him to do the things that he's doing today. Not because he's not good enough. That's what physicality does. It negates a lot of that. Once again, guys today are able to carry and travel. The rules are a lot more laxed. It wasn't like that in the 90s. So you're not going to have that freedom of dribbling the ball the way he does. And once again, Steph Curry's an excellent ball handler. Not saying that he can't dribble. He's only a dribbler because of the carrying. But you would have to be a lot more crisp and clean up that dribbling in the 90s. So it's going to make it a little bit harder. When guys can hand check you and push you and grab you and all these things, it's going to make it difficult. That's just the facts. But once again, to me, Steph Curry's game translates better to the 90s than LeBron James' game does. So, why do I say that and why? And if we think about that, once again, it's exposed to LeBron James. To me, Steph Curry did more with less. And this is part of the reason why he was able to do more with less. Because his game translates. Like I said, you could bring in different players around Steph Curry, and they're not going to miss a beat. But look what happens when you bring guys around LeBron James. They get destroyed. It throws them completely off their game. That doesn't happen for Steph Curry's teammates. They're able to play their game, be the best versions of themselves, to the point where you have guys like Draymond Green and Klay Thompson being talked about as borderline Hall of Famers because they played with Steph Curry, because of the greatness that he showed and the role that he allowed them to have. So Draymond Green's allowed to play that role. Klay Thompson's allowed to play that role. Andre Iguodala. Right? Excuse me, guys. Andrew Bogut, Deshaun Livingstons. Right? Leandro Barbosa. You remember some of these guys? They were on the Warriors when they were winning the championships. These guys were allowed to have a role on the team. Harrison Barnes is a champion playing alongside Steph Curry. Harrison Barnes, man. What has he done? I mean, there were guys like Festus Ezeli on these teams. Maurice Spates on these teams. You guys remember guys in the past like David Lee, Monte Ellis, right? Some of the guys when Steph Curry first got there. Richard Jefferson was on that team. Andres Biedrins. Who was the other guys? There was another guy on that team. Trying to remember his name, man. But you guys get what I'm trying to say here. There were a lot of players that were able to come in and out of that roster, on and off that team. And the Warriors were able to continue to get better and better every single season because of Steph Curry's greatness. By Steph Curry's fourth or fifth year, I believe he made his first All-Star team. And that's pretty much when the Warriors started to take off. Right? They started to take off around that 2013, 2014, right? Mark Jackson was there. Then they brought Steve Kerr in, right? They were on the cusp, right? There was no excuse made for Steph Curry about his injuries to his ankles, about the teammates that he did or didn't have. He made it work with the guys that were drafted there, with the guys that they brought in. A lot of these guys were journeymen. The Sean Livingstons, right? The Leandro Bosas, the Andrew Bogut's. These guys were journeymen. They were on different teams, man. They never really found a home. But they were able to find a home with Steph Curry because Steph Curry allowed them to have that role, right? So they earned their spot on the team. Steph Curry's greatness allows him to do that on the team, allows Steve Kerr to be a coach, be coachable. We all talk about it. LeBron James ain't coachable. He's not doing what Steph Curry is doing. So once again, LeBron James was not doing what Steph Curry did. Steph Curry, once again, doing more with less. Right? He didn't need a Dwayne Wade or Chris Bosh or Ray Allen. Right? He didn't need all these trades and free agents. He didn't need the top players to win. Steph Curry was able to win without that. So once again, Steph Curry doing more with less. Steph Curry beating LeBron James in the finals more than LeBron James beat Steph Curry. And I don't want to hear about Kevin Durant. Once again, I don't want to hear it. Remember, Kevin Durant came to Steph Curry. I don't care listen, I've told you, I've given Steph Curry stuff. And that's why I told you he'll never be a top 10 player for me, Steph Curry, unless he would have won like one or two more championships, something like that. But to me, right now, Steph Curry's not going to be a top 10 player to me. And a big knock on him is you allowed Kevin Durant to come to your team, right? And I've told you, to me, Steph Curry's leadership sometimes is lacking. You let Draymond Green sabotage you in 2016, right? You've allowed Draymond Green to sabotage you several times. So the leadership is lacking a little bit. To me, Steph Curry's not on the top tier of leaders. He's just not. If you talk about the top 10 greatest leaders in NBA's history, I'm thinking about guys like Bill Russell, Michael Jordan, Tim Duncan, Magic Johnson, Jerry West, Kobe Bryant. Like, to me, these are some of the great leaders, that I'm thinking about in my mind, right? I do not think that Steph Curry's up there with those guys. As far as leadership goes, I just don't believe he's on that level. He's a great leader, but not on that tier. But to me, I've knocked his leadership in the past, and we've talked about some of these. So yeah, I do not believe that Steph Curry is a top 10 player. No one's ever sitting here saying Steph Curry is perfect. What we're saying here is that Steph Curry did more with less than LeBron James has. And I think it's obvious he's done more with less, and he's done more in less time. Once again, he has the same number of championships as LeBron James. And when Kevin Durant came to the Warriors, once again, he came to the Warriors, right? Steph Curry didn't go to OKC. I'm pretty sure LeBron James went to Miami. He went to Miami. He didn't have Dwayne Wade come to him. He didn't have Chris Bosh come to him. He went to that team. He went to meet up with a guy that was already a winner. Steph Curry stayed on his team, had Kevin Durant come to his team because Steph Curry was already a winner. Kevin Durant wasn't. And we've all seen what has transpired since Kevin Durant left Golden State. He hasn't sniffed a championship. Meanwhile, Steph Curry has won a championship. So, once again, highlighting that he's done more with less than LeBron James, right? Steph Curry, we can clearly say, those championships that he won without Kevin Durant, to me, are more valuable than any championship LeBron James has on his resume. To me, I don't think LeBron James has one legit championship, not a single legit championship. That's my opinion, guys. I don't value any of those championships. 2 of his MVPs came when he was on a super team. That wasn't the case for Steph Curry. And like I told you, Kevin Durant didn't win no MVPs on that super team Golden State Warriors. But LeBron James won 2 MVPs on a super team Miami Heat. Steph Curry won 2 MVPs back-to-back on his team, the team that he built up. So once again, Steph Curry has done more with less and done more in less time than LeBron James has. LeBron James has over 100 trades and free agents and still won the same amount of championships as Steph Curry, but also has lost way more than Steph Curry. And we know that some of those losses came against Steph Curry's team. So LeBron James choked it up way more in the finals than Steph Curry ever did. To me, Steph Curry was horrible in 2016. He was not great. He was outplayed by by Kyrie Irving. So you can say, yeah, Steph Curry wasn't great in 2016. He kind of choked it up and fumbled it away a little bit. Once again, we know Steph Curry wasn't 100%. There's no excuses, though. So, yeah, you could point to that and say, yeah, Steph Curry wasn't great in 2016, and we all know he was not. But we could point to many different scenarios in the finals that LeBron James wasn't great. Like 07, like 2011, 2015. Like I said, we could also point to scenarios in the finals where LeBron James wasn't even trying to play defense. He wasn't stepping up to the challenge. 2017, just not even stepping up to the challenge. Right? So LeBron James was allowed to have his super team, but Steph Curry wasn't allowed to have Kevin Durant come to his team. You see what I'm saying, guys? And once again, Kevin Durant came to him. He didn't go to Kevin Durant. Steph Curry actually exposed Kevin Durant and LeBron James. He's exposed both of these clowns in this era. So I believe Steph Curry's in his 16th season, I believe. I'm not sure if I'm right or wrong about that. But I believe he's in his 16th season. His first year was 2009, 2010. So 6 years after LeBron James, right? LeBron James came in 04, the 03-04 season. Steph Curry came in the 2010 season. So these years that LeBron James has had over Steph Curry, you still have only won just as many championships as Steph Curry in the same amount of time, or excuse me, in less time for Steph Curry in the same era. And once again, Steph Curry played in a tougher conference. So now if we think about that aspect, LeBron James, most of his career was played in the weakest Eastern Conference in NBA's history. Like I told you guys, from 2005 to 2015, that 10-year window where LeBron James was dominating the Eastern Conference, that's the weakest East in NBA's history, guys. I told you. I remember I did that video. And I told you how many games the West won over the East over those 10 years, guys. It was astronomical. And I compared it to Michael Jordan's East from 1990 to 1998, guys. And it was almost identical, wins and losses, East versus West in the 90s. In LeBron James' Eastern Conference, it was completely lopsided. So like I said, Steph Curry playing in a much tougher conference his entire career than LeBron James has been playing in. So he's done more with less. You're in a tougher conference. So LeBron James had all this stuff on his team, all these odds stacked in his favor, and you're in a weaker conference. Steph Curry didn't do none of that stuff playing in a much tougher conference, guys. Doing more with less, guys. Doing more in less time than LeBron James. Those are just the facts, guys. Right? LeBron James been playing in that weak conference all those years. Steph Curry was in a much tougher conference those years. No one's going to talk about that, though? Nope. We're not going to mention that at all, man. Even to this day, Steph Curry does not walk back on defense the way LeBron James does. He does not lollygag the way LeBron James does. He does not flop all over the court the way LeBron James does. So once again, Steph Curry is still doing more with less. LeBron James, like I said, has all the physical stature over a Steph Curry. But LeBron James be load managing more than Steph Curry does. Now, Steph Curry's missed a lot of games, guys. We've talked about this. He's missed a lot of games, man. Like I said, no one's saying Steph Curry's perfect or he's the grittiest, toughest player in NBA's history. But when you talk about Steph Curry being 6'3", 190 pounds, and then you talk about LeBron James being 6'9", 250, and then you see how many games LeBron James has missed, how many games he's load managed without legit injuries. More often than not, at least Steph Curry is usually dealing with something. Like I said, he's smaller and frailer, right? He's usually dealing with something. LeBron James is promoted as a workout warrior. All this toughness and strength. But, dude, you're always out missing games. So, really, what are we doing here? Steph Curry, once again, doing more with less. Right? It's insane how many games LeBron James has missed. Once again, Steph Curry stayed on his team. Right? He allowed his players, teammates, to be great. So, when we think about someone like Andrew Wiggins, guys, right? Steph Curry exposed LeBron James when he won that championship in 2022 with Andrew Wiggins on the team. Because if you guys remember, it was Andrew Wiggins who LeBron James did not want. He did not want the number one pick, Andrew Wiggins. The number one pick, guys. Number one pick. LeBron James didn't want that guy on his team. Why not? Because LeBron James don't want to develop players. He don't want to have to work and push these guys in practice. He don't want to wait for these guys to develop. That's not LeBron James. He can't do that. So, once again, Steph Curry had Andrew Wiggins on that team. And once again, he made Andrew Wiggins look good. He made Andrew Wiggins look like a contributing member of the team. Has anybody seen Andrew Wiggins since? No. Inconsistent Andrew Wiggins. Steph Curry won a championship with that guy. Draymond Green, Klay Thompson. These guys were inconsistent as hell over the last several years. Steph Curry was able to lead those guys to a championship. No excuses, man. LeBron James always gets excuses made for him, losing more than he wins. So I'm going to give, like I told you guys, I'm done with the LeBron James, Steph Curry stuff. It's Steph Curry era. It's the Steph Curry era. To me, I'm going with Steph Curry. I'm ranking him above LeBron James. I'm done with the LeBron James stuff. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. So wherever you have LeBron James, just make sure that Steph Curry is above him. Above him. So like I said, man, you guys know LeBron James has been exposed. Steph Curry has easily done more with less, guys. Easily done more with less. We could go down the list of teammates. You can go through the list of free agents and trades. You can go over their stature. Like I said, Steph Curry even led the league in steals one year. LeBron James never even did that. Never even did that. All the athletic advantages that LeBron James has, you never led the league in steals one time. Once again, Steph Curry led the league in scoring twice. LeBron James once. Yeah, we know LeBron James had that assist title in the bubble year. No one's impressed. No one's impressed at all, man. And LeBron James had his super team when Steph Curry had his super team with Kevin Durant. So it's a wash. I don't want to hear nothing, man, about this. And LeBron James could do nothing with it because you're out there goofing it up, not playing defense, not stepping up to the challenge. You're passing the ball to Georgia at the end of games. You're shrinking in the moment. You're scared to lead your team and go to the free throw line at the end of games. You're not a great leader. You're not galvanizing them. You're not coachable. You don't sacrifice and play in a system to help your team win. LeBron James would have had better winning percentage in the finals if he actually sacrificed and played in an actual system, guys. But he won't do that. So you're losing more than you're winning because your teammates can't help you the way that they need to. And you're not being as effective as you could be. You're not working on your overall offensive game all these years. Still missing free throws. You're not giving the effort on the defensive end. You're not taking the challenge. You're not raising your level of play. Like I said, man, Steph Curry allowed his teammates to be great, man. Right? He allowed Andre Iguodala to come in 2015 and get a Finals MVP. Right? He allowed that to happen because he allowed Andre Iguodala to have a role. And Andre Iguodala was able to play that role the way he did because of Steph Curry. Remember, all of Steph Curry's teammates are doing what they're doing because of Steph Curry and the gravity, the way that he's able to play without the ball in his hands. So he can let Draymond Green dribble the ball up. He can let, Sean Livingston or Klay Thompson dribble the ball, right? He can let these guys have their roles, get to their spots. He don't need the ball. He can run around off screens. And guys are watching Steph Curry, which allows Klay Thompson to go off, which allows this guy to go off and that guy to go off. That's not LeBron James' teammates. LeBron James down with the basketball, dribble, hold the ball. And then he'll just throw the ball to somebody the last couple seconds of a shot clock and then force them to shoot a shot up. And then when they don't make it, he gives them the look. He gives them that look. I don't see Steph Curry looking at his teammates like that. The body language of Steph Curry, much greater than LeBron James. Right? Steph Curry walking the court early, blaming his teammates as often as I see LeBron James doing this stuff. Right? LeBron James' man scores, and LeBron James looking at his teammates in disgust. That's not Steph Curry, guys. So he allowed these guys to have their roles, and they could all be successful because Steph Curry and the amount of attention that he gets on the offensive end. Running around, coming off screens. Right? Like I said, adjusting and adapting his game over the years. Steph Curry, one of the great finishers under the rim. To me, Steph Curry's a much greater finisher under the rim than LeBron James could ever dream to be, guys. LeBron James missed so many layups. Steph Curry finishes a lot of layups, man, in traffic. Like I said, when he doesn't have the stature of a LeBron James, man. The overall skills, give me Steph Curry's overall skills over LeBron James. So to me, Steph Curry did more with less. Like I said, he don't have the suspicion surrounding him. He don't have the media pumping him up the way LeBron James is pumped up and celebrated. So Steph Curry actually had to go out there and earn it, right? And really earn that style, that reputation through his play style. Earn that love from the fans through the way that he played. Not because the, media's pumping him up and telling you this stuff, creating these narratives for Steph Curry. No, that was LeBron James. And yet Steph Curry's still more popular than LeBron James. His game is still more visually appealing to watch. And remember, Steph Curry saved LeBron James and the USA Olympic team in the past Olympics. Just did that, guys. So once again, Steph Curry doing more with less, has saved LeBron James several times, like he did in the All-Star game when LeBron James couldn't even show for the All-Star game. You guys know the deal, man. These are the facts, man. LeBron James has given the NBA the entitlement era, the self-entitlement era. That's what LeBron James brought to the NBA, taking it downhill. Like I said, where would the NBA be if there was no Steph Curry this era? It was LeBron James, Kevin Durant, James Harden. These are the guys. What would the NBA be, guys? It would be in trouble. You guys know, like it is now. It would be even worse. You guys know the deal, man. Steph Curry obviously did more than LeBron James and did more with less than LeBron James. You guys know the deal, man. I'll catch you guys on the next one.